Hello, everyone, and welcome to Drone Nation. This is June 14th, 2021. We're calling this the, who's going to SpinUp episode. Last week at this time, we didn't, Kelly hadn't officially announced the dates, and I'm referring to Kelly Shores of, the 2021 SpinUp, but it is announced now. We know it's November 6th. We know it's in Cedar Park, Texas, also northwest of Austin, on 11/6, and a lot of people are geared up for it. I believe my co-host and good friend Marcus Crawford has already purchased a ticket. Is that true, Marcus?
I've got the flight reservations, Ron. I've got the hotel reservations, and I've got the SpinUp ticket. The only thing I haven't done yet is rent a car, because if you look on any of the car rental websites right now, it's insane, the prices. But I figure as we get closer, that might possibly come down. So, I don't, Ron. We were just talking about it a little bit in the pre-show. I think I'm more excited about this than even the first one we went to, Ron, because, we already know we're going to get to see a lot of our friends, and plus we got all this COVID mess mostly behind us, and it's just going to be a big celebration. It's just
right. You missed the Florida meetup, so this is extra special to you.
Yep, totally agree. Pretty exciting.
Well, you're the most prepared man for SpinUp, I think, Marcus. And you know what? If the car price is too high, in most of the cities in San Antonio, they have those rentable scooters.
There you go. The other thing I was thinking about is that Turo service. Have you ever? Are you familiar with that?
No. I know Uber and Lyft.
Yeah, well, Turo is individuals that rent cars, right? So you just rent somebody's car they're not using that week or whatever. So
when our good friend Ron Lockwood came to Florida, he used a version of Turo where he rented somebody's motorcycle for the week.
Yeah, it's that same concept, but I'm thinking that by then things might have moderated somewhat. I hope so. So we'll see.
Right. Well,
the interesting thing, Ron, that really surprised me is I was able to get a direct flight from Boise to Austin.
Well, see, those airlines they knew SpinUp was coming. Yeah. They prepared that the short line right to Austin. They know what they're doing.
They did. They took care of me.
Yep. Hey, and if anybody's interested in getting tickets, right now you can get them for $99. Later on, the tickets will go up in different groups. The people got in the ground floor. Now, when I purchased my ticket yesterday, there were still 11 tickets left at that price. So in the notes to this show, I put a link to where you can go and purchase the tickets.
Hey, Ron, and that is great. But we should also, for people there, I'm sure there's people here that really don't even know what SpinUp is and what it entails. So we should probably talk about that a little bit, shouldn't we? Or should we get our guests in first?
And we got a big panel coming on to help us with that, Marcus.
Yeah. Okay.
We will go kind of maybe we'll do a short recap of SpinUp 2019 to give people that have no idea what we're talking about, outside of guys talking about drones.
One more question before you bring in our guests, Ron. So at the last SpinUp, we did a DroneNation show from a very special location.
A secret location.
Secret location. We were at the swimming pool of the hotel. Are we going to do that again this year?
Well, I briefly looked at pictures of the Spring Hill suites, and it looks like they have an outdoor pool. And it looks like that lake's behind it.
Yeah,
but you know what? We won't have to worry, because I think Johnny Drone Flyer, not only has he, reserved a suite where maybe we could headquarter there, I've heard he has reserved the whole 5th floor of the Spring.
Oh, he might have the penthouse.
Yeah. I think he reserved the whole thing or whatever.
We got the penthouse. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, so we could kind of work out of the penthouse. We'll feel like we're Howard Hughes up there.
Yeah, heck yeah. What was I worried about?
And then speaking of Johnny Drone Flyer, the man who reserved the penthouse at the the Spring Hill Suites, Johnny, how are you tonight?
Yeah, there must be two Johnny Drone Flyers. I don't know. There is a Johnny FPV. I think y'all got me mixed up.
Well, all I know is I called down to Spring Hill Suites, and I was asking, can I get a suite? Can I get the presidential suite? because this is DroneNation call. We need the best. And they said, some high roller from Louisiana already booked it ahead of you. So we knew who it was right then.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You know what?
If I book all the rooms, then I could set the price.
They said it was some real estate magnate from Louisiana.
Right, like a tycoon, just wheels and deals and property. Sells beachfront condos like they're nothing.
No. I am staying at the same hotel though, and it looks like a nice. And Captain Ray will be. Well, we're sharing a room.
Wait a minute. Did you say Captain Ray?
There you go.
Hey, how you doing, Ron, Marcus?
Captain Ray. Now, is it
Captain?
true?
It's Captain Ray. I got to put on my hat.
Hold on.
Yeah, I got yours on.
There we go.
Captain Ray, is it true you canceled a Greek cruise to the beautiful Greek islands to make it to SpinUp?
Yeah, I'll tell you.
This is a wild rumor.
It's true. Yeah, I had a cruise booked, and the more and more I thought about it, I says I gotta change my plans. I definitely got to get the SpinUp.
No wonder you got the Kelly Shore subscriber of the month.
Well, there you go. I'm all ready to go. Look
You're
at that.
Hero.
Yeah,
Man, you are my hero, Captain Ray. I'm telling you, that's dedication.
We got to put another word in front of his name instead of Captain Ray. It's going to be divorced Captain Ray Kelly.
Yeah,
Well, now, Captain Ray, were you just going on the cruise, or were you captaining the ship on the Greek cruise?
Oh yeah. I always go up to the captain, and
you take the wheel for a while.
Yeah, always. Every cruise I go on.
Well, speaking of,
it is my anniversary, so I guess you could say I'm almost pulling a Ken Dono.
Oh, you are?
Because actually my anniversary is November 4th. So I'm gonna spend my anniversary with my wife, and then on the 5th I'll be flying out.
Hop a plane. Wow. Now you're the SpinUp hero with that story, no doubt about it. You should be a speaker at the event. But speaking of people traveling, well, not exactly long distance, but maybe making the shortest travel to SpinUp is our good friend Mike Wright from the Dallas Fort Worth area.
Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Howdy. How you doing, Ray? Good to see you. Hey, Johnny.
Good to see you.
Hey, Michael.
Michael.
Now, Michael had the long flight to the South Florida drone meetup, but he's got the short drive to the Austin, the Cedar Park meetup. Mike, how long is it going to take you to drive over there?
About 3 hours. Not a big deal. Short drive.
We said it's just a hot skip and jump in Texas, right?
You got that. Just a little afternoon drive.
Micah, you picking up Chris Hope, or is he going to drive on his own?
He'll probably drive his own. He's an hour and a half from me, but he's a little bit further. He's further east.
Yeah, Chris is in the chat here. Welcome in, Chris.
Yeah, he confirmed to me he's coming, so he'll be there. Now, Johnny, you're riding in too. You're driving in too, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm gonna drive in. I think Brad and possibly Al and I think Rodney Bell may try to. They're still deciding if they want
to pulling it in.
And they may swing by here if they do drive, and maybe actually spend the night, and then I'll take my truck. But I want to have my truck, and Captain Ray, we're gonna need, and Marcus, I know I'll tell you, we may need some extra truck. Mike's gonna have his truck, so.
How long is the drive for you, Johnny?
It's 485 miles, so about 8 hours, I guess.
Okay.
But I gotta straighten something out right now, because there's a lot of people in the chat, and I want you guys to know there's no hanky-panky going on between me and Johnny, even though I'm staying in his room.
You're bunking up, huh?
I tell you what.
Don't worry. In the presidential suite that Johnny ordered, you guys might never see each other.
Yeah.
You may not even see Johnny the whole time you're there.
I know. I got a room that I asked a girl. I said, "Do I get a bathrobe?" That's when you know you got an expensive room when you get the bathrobe.
Probably one of those thick terry cloth jobs.
But no, hey, Marcus, you said it best. I tell you what, I can't wait to meet the rest of our friends that we didn't meet in Florida, and I know you didn't get a chance to come, but and I personally, and it's a good thing, Ron, you brought it up. Yeah, tell us I mean, I know what I think SpinUp is, but
yeah, we're gonna step right through. But I do have a question to ask because Mike's going to give us a big hand with that too.
yeah.
I want to ask Captain Ray. So you're flying in? That's correct, right?
Yes, yeah.
Now, where are you flying from? New York or Florida?
No, I'm flying from New York, Long Island, Islip Airport. It's called, but I got to make a stop and change planes, and then
what city?
From Baltimore to Austin.
Also to Baltimore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now
Famous for the Islip Speedway where they do the figure 8 racing.
Yeah, right. That's I'm only 20 minutes from that track. Well, where the track was, it's no longer there.
Not there anymore, but it was a regular on Wide World of Sports.
I know. I remember watching it as a kid. You know, I loved it, and I went there once. I did go there once. Yep.
Wow.
Now, will you be bringing Drone Bum with you, Ray?
I haven't heard if he's going. You know, I hope he goes. Him and Charlie Mafia.
Yeah.
Charlie is not going. He said.
Oh, okay. Yep.
How about Stevie
Ron, I've heard you guys talking about SpinUp for all these years now, and I know it's going to be an awesome event. There's no doubt about it, you know, and I watched some of the videos about it, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Well,
what's on it?
I'll start to recap basically. In 2019, I got there on Thursday. Now, on Friday, you know, and we stayed at a hotel that was just walking distance from the Boy Scout Center that they had it in. And, you know, that day on Friday, Kelly and the crew, they were setting things up inside. But, you know, I was kind of hanging outside with Rodney Bell and Art Carlson and some other people were there early. And we kind of hang around outside. And we went and asked Kelly if he needed help, but they had a pretty good handle. I met Brad Austin for the first time. You know, he was in there, you know, that day. And then, you know, and later on the day, Marcus and Sarah arrived. And, you know, I had gone out for a walk and I was walking along this path. It was like a little stream or whatever. And I ran into Ed Ricker and Doc Murdoch. And who else was there, Marcus?
Ed Ricker.
Bill, what's Bill's channel's name? He supports every drone show there is. Bill, what's his?
Metro Drones. Yeah.
They were all there. And you know, Ed Ricker was showing him how to fly this new little FPV drone he had. He was
Ed Ricker was amazing. Yeah, watching him fly that drone was just unbelievable.
Yeah. Mike, what are some of your memories of the Friday before the actual event last year? When did you arrive?
Yeah, the Friday was I arrived about noon, I think, yes, or something like that. And Friday was a great time. We got together on the Friday evening before at what's called the Boathouse.
Yep.
Oh, that was
That's where we got to meet a lot of people too. I didn't meet everybody that night because it was crowded, but
we had a great time. I'm going to miss that place. That has some incredible seafood at that joint.
Right, I'm sure he has somewhere lined up around there.
And I got a little secret for you. So Ron tipped back a few. He made me drive home.
Mark was a designated driver that night.
I don't drink, so
But I mean, we had at least 3 big tables at the restaurant outside, and they even had a band playing for us on a stage. You know, but it was at least 3 tables, or maybe was it 4 tables, Marcus?
Yeah, I mean, it was probably at least 4 tables. And one of the things that impressed me was that Kelly came around and spoke to everybody and made it personal for everybody. And the other thing that impressed me is he didn't just he also made sure that he engaged our spouses as well. It was just a really neat experience. And
even more neater for us is that Kelly had his father with him. And Kelly's father, was he retired Navy? He was retired Armed Forces. I'm not sure which branch it was. And remember, somebody at our table had some kind of military. So he put his father. He trusted his father with us at our table.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I talked to Kelly's father for a long time. He was a fascinating individual. But one of the things that he had an electronics background, and So it was really cool talking to him about that stuff. But I was talking to him and I said, hey, you know, your son, Kelly Shores, I said, he's kind of a celebrity among this crew. And he looked at me and he goes, what? And I said, Kelly really is. He's a celebrity. And he goes, no. I said, I'm telling you, he is. He goes, I'll be darned.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Hey, Marco, how you doing?
And we got to meet Marcus. I got to meet Barry Markowitz for the first time that night. He was kind of a friend of Bill, the drone reviewer, and he engages that night. And he was one of the speakers the next day too. And some relationships hold up to this day. Barry emails me almost every day.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I have a lot of contact with him as well.
And Barry's located in Hawaii, and he is kind of a, you know, I'm going to say a reporter with, you know, with his cameras and his drone shots and in Samoa, and he kind of covers that whole Pacific area. And you know, in fact, we've been talking back and forth about maybe doing a show. Barry's getting a new M1 iPad because he wants to do his video editing on an iPad now. And he wants something powerful enough to do the new 5K, 6K, 8K footage. So we've been talking about maybe putting a show together about that in the upcoming futures. But anyhow, I had so much fun that night at that restaurant. You know, you just got to meet and talk to people. It wasn't anything formal. We had a good conversation with Ken Dono that night. Ed Ricker came around to the table and talked to us that night. I mean, it was what do they say? A good time is had by all.
Well, that's essentially right, and that really set the stage for the next day.
That was also the first time I met Sean. Sean Oz showed up that night.
Yeah,
well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He was so nervous not speaking the next day. Y'all remember that?
Oh, Sean
was so nervous. The first time he's public speaking, he said.
I was out in the hall. I was out in the hall with him, and he was just pacing around. He was nervous, and I don't know if I could tell this kind of inside baseball story. I don't know. Somebody backed out the last minute, so he was kind of a replacement for someone. And I don't mean like, you know, like 5 minutes before, but I mean, you know, he had a couple days to prepare or whatever, but it wasn't his original slot, but he knocked it out. He gave a great presentation that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Ron, you said it, you know, like in Florida, if anybody in the chat is kind of hesitant about going, I say don't be, because, you know, I would say that was one of my biggest surprises going to Florida. I mean, everybody was so cordial and so nice, and there was no egos. Everybody was the same. And I'll tell you what, and we all know, I mean, Billy Kyle's a big time guy, YouTuber, and Ken and them, but I'll tell you what, they couldn't have been more, and Ron, and it was just unbelievable. It was like old friends. It was like a high school reunion. I would say more like a high school reunion, except you got a few older guys that flunked a few times, you know.
That's the biggest thing is meeting people.
Yeah,
really meeting them and talking to them and getting to know them a little bit. And you know, we had that windy day, you know, and we not too many of us flew that for the day of the. But I tell you, just talking and meeting to them, and then a few people that did fly, and then, you know, that rescue that Mark Fisher did was, you know.
Yeah, Captain Ray. So what you're going to find at SpinUp, at least during the day of the conference, really not much drone flying. So it's presentations, and it's in a conference room, and giveaways all day long.
Giveaways, love giveaways.
Well, the thing is, Kelly, you know, he's got some connections with DJI, etc. He's had a relationship with them for many, many years. That in 2009, well, last year as well, they gave away, I believe, one of each of their drones to Kelly to give away at SpinUp. So we can expect the same thing this year. And there's a lot of manufacturers that give him everything from landing pads to whatever kind of drone-related knickknacks to give away. So he's doing drawings all day long. And plus, you know, Mike and Ron can chime in on this, but the presenters were fascinating, including Scott Parazynski, who was an astronaut and flew on 3 different shuttle missions. And we got to ask him not just about his drone controller, but about his experience as an astronaut. So it was very, very fascinating.
And a lot of people got to fly that. What was that stick called? His controller.
Aviator.
A lot of people got to fly the Aviator that day.
Yeah, I bought.
Mike, did you fly the Aviator that day?
I did not, but if you remember that Ken Herron was on, he got to fly it with Scott.
Yeah,
and Ken did not have a very good review. It was their first meeting. It was fun to watch them stand side by side and fly together.
But it flew good that day. Yeah, it flew good that day for Ken.
It did.
Hey, Ron, so I see that DeMarco's in the chat saying one of us is going to win something this year. Hey, we did. Ron, you and I, we did win something because remember Kelly gave us a Hubsan Zeno.
Right, one of the many Hubsan Zenos.
Yeah.
Marcus, I won two things in 19. I won a two-way radio, two-way radios.
Wow.
And then I won, Barry gave away a Nanook Mavic 2 Pro case.
That's
Right.
right.
And then last year I won the Mavic 2 Pro.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
I sure did.
Well, I'm going to sit near. I'm going to sit near Mike.
Yeah, I say I
want the Mavic 3 this year.
I'm gonna let Mike buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah, I'm going to make the same joke, Mike. I'm not going to buy the Mavic 3 until I go to SpinUp. Maybe I'll just win it.
Just win it there. Yeah.
You might get to see it fly, Ron.
You wonder when Kelly comes to the show. Will I ask him? Will the Mavic 3 debut at SpinUp 2019? Put him on the spot.
Well,
I imagine it'll be there. I think it'll be out by then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
But nevertheless, we'll ask him anyway when next time we see him.
yeah, and Art is saying that he won that RoboMaster S1.
Right, he did.
Yeah, he did. And but listen, what show was Kelly's on? What show was he on? No, he was on Ken Herron's show the other day. Kelly was, and he was alluding to the fact he didn't say it outright, but he was alluding to the fact that there will be a Mavic 3 by that time. He didn't say it. He didn't say it in so many words, but he clued in about as strong as anybody could clue in. So, yeah.
I don't know how I can do this, but Barry Marker was just sending me pictures from Sam's boat. It was, he's texting me pictures from Sam's boat that he was a video of Marcus, you sitting beside Steve Carpenter. Oh, I'm there too.
Oh, cool. Hey, so Steve Carpenter is saying in the chat here, he has never won anything. So we're all going to be sitting next to Mike Wright this year.
Yeah, get away from Steve.
You're gonna win this year. I guarantee it. You're gonna win.
I was sitting next to Art at the 19. So we
you know where to sit then.
Yeah.
I was next to Art, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
You guys got a great audience in the house. I mean, look at them all.
55.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we probably had maybe 3 speakers before lunch and 3 speakers after lunch. Does that sound right, Mike?
There may have been 4 and 4.
Late. I forgot about the woman who did the Instagram. We had a woman who did an Instagram speech. She had nothing to do with drones. She was just an Instagram expert.
That was the only one where I kind of took a nap. I got to tell you.
Marcus, did your Instagram double since that?
Yeah. I kind of dozed off during that one.
You know, our friend Lauren just gave us some inside scoop there. August to September.
Jason Shepard was there.
Lauren.
Wrote out 101.
That's right. He was. Yeah. All the speakers were really. It was good stuff, and it kept you engaged the whole time. So really.
Oh, and Addie Everbeek's in there. We got to meet Addie at 2019.
That's right. I bid $500 on Ken Herron's. What was the drone that he passed around the Spark?
Oh, the Spark that traveled around the world.
It traveled around the world, and then thank goodness somebody outbid me by another $50.
Oh,
really?
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
so it'll be a really big crowd. Y'all feel this year for sure.
And then of course when we first got there in the morning, they had refreshments. They had coffee and donuts and so on. And then, we heard probably the 4 speakers. Then the astronauts spoke in the morning, and we took a break and we went outside and everybody flew the aviator stick. Then we went back inside, heard a couple more speakers. Then Kelly had lunch brought in from, I believe, from Chewy's. Is that right, Mike?
Chewy's. Yeah.
That's a Tex-Mex kind of chain restaurant in Texas. Is that correct, Mike?
That's correct. He had fajitas.
Hey, Ron, I don't want to interrupt you, but we got some big news in the chat here. Lon Denards has confirmed that he's going to be there at SpinUp 2021.
Great, because I didn't get to really meet Lon and shake his hand at Florida, so I definitely want to meet up and had a good conversation with my buddy Lon down there. He
says he's going to have his Mavic Pro 3, so...
Okay, so I'll watch him fly. And, Lon, don't go anywhere, Lon. I mentioned you in one of the stories we're going to cover today if we ever get off SpinUp.
And, guys, by the way, I do have your reservations at Spring Hill now for Thursday through Sunday.
Oh, okay. So you're all booked up too.
I'm there. Yeah.
Now you got it in Johnny's wing that he reserved.
Don't know about that.
I got a whole wing, going.
I got the wing that they have. They're building it special.
Mike,
go ahead, Ray.
Mike, are you staying at the Spring Hill?
I'm staying at the Spring Hill. Just made reservations about 20 minutes ago.
All right, great.
I'm staying at Captain Hiram's.
Oh yeah, okay. That's a nice place. That's a nice place, Ron.
Far away there, Ron.
Ron, you're gonna have a long drive every morning.
Well, I hope they have one out there. We got water there, so maybe there could be another Captain Hiram's there.
So now, do you think we'll be able to fly at that hotel there? There's a nice lake right behind it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
G Airspace. I checked it out.
Oh, Mike checked it already. See, that's why you're in the show, Mike. You're on top of things like this.
Yeah, no problem.
It'd be like in Florida, flying at the hotel.
Yeah.
Maybe with the hotel manager come out and fly with us.
Yeah.
Well, I should
did last time.
At the 2019 at that Boy Scout area, that was Class G as well, and a lot of people flew there. I didn't, but I know a lot of people did.
Well, I didn't fly there either. I flew at the
ball field
the next day. Yeah.
Now to just to wrap up and get through. So we heard the 4 speakers in the afternoon. I'm going to say that ended between 5 and 6 o'clock. And then everybody kind of dispersed, went to dinner in different places. A lot of the younger guys, I shouldn't say all younger guys, but a lot of the guys went into downtown San Antonio and hit the barbecue.
Downtown Austin.
Downtown Austin.
The barbecue.
Mike's keeping me straight here.
Yeah.
The hit up 6th Street. You hear that was in the news last night,
Right.
6th Street, you had the shooting there.
Yeah. I'm just eating my barbecue out near the hotel.
Yeah, I agree.
Some of those guys were at the barbecue that has the big stainless steel pole.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Johnny knows the one.
That's in my suite. That's in the suite.
Yeah.
Is that where it's a free barbecue?
That's a joke, Ron.
We'll just move on here. Keep the show monetized.
Yeah.
I don't want no stainless steel or brass.
Yeah.
So anyhow, that kind of wrapped up Saturday. That was the big day. And then the next day on Sunday, a lot of guys went out to it's a famous bridge in Austin. I can't remember the name of it, but Pennypacker. A lot of guys got up at sunrise, including Chris Hope, Steve Carpenter, Drone Bum, Kelly Shores. Did you go with him, Mike?
I didn't go. I overslept.
Yeah, I did too. But a lot of guys went out and hit the Pennypacker Bridge at sunrise. And then later on, about 10 or 11 a.m., a lot of us met over at a baseball field, which was about a mile from where the 2 hotels where we were staying at. And we flew at that baseball field, but it was kind of too many people there. And just as Marcus and I walked in, Candono had just crashed his Mavic 2 Pro into the backstop.
Dugout.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Put it into context. I have never seen so many Mavics all in a row in the air, and he was flying line of sight and confused. He thought somebody else's drone was his drone, and so you had to be on your toes.
But Ken is the one that crashed it, though, out of everybody else out there.
Which is
You know what he told Marcus on? He said, he said everybody says fly visual line sight. He said no more. If I'd been looking at my FPV screen, I wouldn't have crashed.
And that's true.
You know, I saw a nice photo on one of the Facebook pages where they had at least 8 drones up in the sky together. We should get a group together to do that with some drones and get a couple of photos of that. I think that would be cool.
That's a great idea, Captain Ray. We're going to have to do that and get it. You know, maybe we can get a nice video of it or whatever, and we can use it kind of a promo on all our shows.
Well, I'll bring the Fimi Mini. That way, I'm not risking much.
That's if you can. Yeah, that's if you can actually do it.
Yeah.
Marcus, I flew it about 45 minutes ago, and I tell you what, the Horizon, you know, as good as I sent you mine. The last one was perfect. This one was, it was bad today.
Oh,
That's the problem with that drone, and I don't know if we're going to change subjects, but we get
the Fimi in there, so we will. But okay, let's wrap up SpinUp here now. We're going to change subject. But if you have questions about SpinUp, put them in the chat, and as soon as we see the questions, we'll jump back and answer the questions. But we're going to work through the rest of the agenda now. But so we will get to any questions that are posted in the chat about any details of SpinUp. And Kelly will be here in 2 weeks, and he'll nail down any of the real hard questions that that we can't answer at this point. Like will there be any restaurant discounts or anything like that? But okay, story number 1 we covered already, which is SpinUp. We gave the date, the location, Cedar Park, northwest of Austin. The links in the description down below if you want to buy tickets. There's only 11 left yesterday at the beginning rate, and then they go up another like $25, $30 or whatever. The next
right. Can I ask one question of everybody before you change? What drones are you bringing to SpinUp? And the other guys too.
The panel in the chat, right?
You guys, yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll do too, and then we'll let the chat start mentioning. We'll cover a few more stories, and then we'll get back to it.
All right. Okay.
Okay. And the chat, anybody in the chat that's coming, put your drone, and we'll all compare notes. Okay. Story number 2: the Hubsan Zeno Mini Pro. It's on the website now. It says shipping in mid-June. Now, according to my watch, it's the 14th of June. Marcus, would that be considered mid-June?
I would call that mid-June, but I suspect your order is saying the same thing mine is.
Oh, you mean processing?
That's what I mean, yeah.
A lot of processing going on. But did you notice on the Hubsan site, they've added another little lettering at the bottom. Now they say the thermal camera model will be coming out at the end of June.
I thought it said the end of July, Ron, but I don't want to contradict you.
Okay, I may be wrong. It was awful small print.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we're still waiting on the Zeno Mini Pro now. Rick Smith put a video up overnight last night, and then he was taken down.
Yeah.
Rick just said, Zeno Mini Pro, like first look or something like that. And he put it back up today, but he doesn't actually have the drone. He was just reviewing the specs that are posted at the Hubsan website and various other places. You just got to get a recap. But Rick actually said he contacted Hubsan to get maybe, he was signed DNA and get a review in it, but he heard crickets back from Hubsan.
I thought maybe he got into Best Buy and got it early and was put the review up, when it first went live.
I tried the same thing, Ron, with Hubsan, and I got nowhere.
Barry dropped in the see us here.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. We're looking forward to seeing Barry at SpinUp this year. I'm pretty sure he's coming. So anyhow, so the Mini Pro, we're still kind of in a holding pattern on it here, But the funny thing is that it doesn't. They keep their secrets in better than DJI does. Like you guys made the reference to the Best Buy. I mean, there's no Zeno Mini Pros leaking out there. Not even the big channels have them.
Well, my understanding is, Ron, that so far they only have one prototype and they crashed it.
Okay,
they haven't changed the leak.
They haven't changed the props yet. They don't even have extra props for it, huh?
Yeah.
They got one battery, one set of props, and a set of curtains.
Or for all we know, that could have been a Mini 2 that they just put different plastic on. And
You imagine I just put an outer shell on it.
Yeah.
But it could have been the Mini too, or wouldn't have crashed.
It wouldn't have crashed. Yeah.
So anyhow, that's that story. Now another story that we talked about last week, the DJI MIni SE. Now, I mean, all this week we've heard nothing but more about it. People have discovered in Walmart. Did I say? Yeah, I didn't say Kmart. So remember we were saying Kmart last week. In Walmart, people found a little fact tag they put on that hook, and it says DJI MIni SE $299. So I guess that kind of confirms it, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds right.
It's got a UPC code for it. It's probably
Unless it's the world's biggest April Fool's, that's coming, right? Does anybody have any idea what time frame? Will we see that in a couple weeks in July?
Hopefully soon. Hey, Ron, I just want to interrupt for 1 second because I just saw a post from Lauren. He is saying, he works with a reseller in Calgary, and they're saying that they were supposed to get their shipment today. But evidently they don't have it. So that's interesting, right?
They talked to a new person.
Yeah. Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt, Ron, but I just
that's good information. It doesn't have a lot of confidence in Hubson because they don't even get back to you. It's very, very. Thanks, Lauren, for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I hope Hubson gets that thing out before the Mini SE comes out and steals his thunder. Right? Everybody will be running around buying that $299 Mini.
That's to me. Well, I just think it's a great deal.
But Marcus, will you buy it though?
Well, I already have a DJI Mini, so unless there's some feature that we don't know of that might be of interest, particularly for my channel, right? But other than that, probably not. But I just look at it this way. We're messing around with like this Fimi Mini that has all of these issues and all these problems. And the reason that you fly a GPS camera drone is to get good, stable video and pictures. And if it fails at that, no matter what else it does, what's kind of the point of it? Right. And that's where DJI excels. And I guarantee you that Mini that you buy at Walmart for $299 will do all of that and more. So what are you going to recommend to your friends if they ask you, I want to buy my first drone? I'm going to tell them to go down to Walmart and spend $300 on that Mini SE.
Yep, and quit wasting money. Yes.
Kind of go down there and get all reliable, right?
That does many things. Will it track you? You got me going here. So let's talk about tracking a little bit. Everybody talks about this Fimi Mini. It has tracking. It does, and it does it very well, but it's also a drone that has no obstacle avoidance. So the thing about tracking is the reason you want a tracking drone on your bicycle or whatever it is that you're doing, you're not going to be looking back at the drone all the time. And without obstacle avoidance, I would say that it's of limited value as opposed to a drone like the Air 2S or something that has some obstacle avoidance that you can actually use it on. So I don't know that tracking is as big a deal as what people make it out to be on these mini drones. So I'm just saying, $299. There you go.
Hey, and you know what? I could afford that suite if I quit buying stuff like this, Marcus. So, I mean, I might have to jump on a bandwagon now. I mean, it flew good a couple times, but and hey, I'll tell you a funny story. I was talking to Captain Ray on the phone today, and of course we were talking about this, and he said I was kind of disappointed because he thought his order didn't go through, but it showed up on his door.
Yeah, right. I got caught up in the hype. I ordered it, and I didn't need it. Didn't really want it, but I got it. I'll make the best of it,
Of course, Ray. And here's what I'll say about it:
it may get better.
It's fun to fly. It's just that the cameras. I mean, it's got a decent camera. It's that the gimbal is garbage. Anyway,
Mark, not to knock that drone, but I was watching your video this morning about that, and it kept disconnecting on you. I felt so bad.
for no apparent reason. And then I flew it when I got back here, and I've had no more connection problems with it. And in fact, I flew it with both my iPhone and the Pixel 3, and had no problems with either one of them. So I don't even know what to say about that.
I say we bring them to Austin and let's have drone wars over the lake.
See who disconnects the first. But I have the same problem as Marcus does. In the field, it disconnects constantly. But when I'm testing it at here in the office, it's fine.
Now, I haven't had that problem yet.
Now, Gorilla Man has discovered that it's the connector that connects to the controller that's proprietary. The one that goes into the phone, that end, is not, because he's put an extension cable on at the other end. It still works. So it's the one that goes into the controller that you need the official Hubsan cable. And most of us, of course, only have one cable. Marcus has two. He can at least test back and forth on the cables. But I mean, our good friend Ryan Duvall posted a video in the past day where he had one of the best working Fimis of anybody, and the latest firmware even calls him to do one of my biggest pet peeves with it is the dropping gimbal. You fly along, no matter how slow or steady you fly, the gimbal, and I don't mean it just slowly creeps down. You're just flying, goes whoop, whoop.
Now, man didn't do that tonight, Marcus, but it had done. I mean, Ron, but it has done that before. So
I've got the worst problems of everybody all combined in my.
Oh no, you don't.
No, John Coopy.
John Coopy, hands down.
Yeah, well,
I've
always had the crooked horizon. I always had the droopy gimbal. I had the connection issues, and I've got something else too. But I've got like all the issues are on mine.
If you could fly about like this right here, your horizon would be level.
Hey, this is the one I'm going to take for the drone wars, Johnny. This is the one that I dropped, and I repaired the arm, but the gimbal is garbage. But who cares, right?
The gimbal's not much better than the working ones.
Yeah.
Bring that one, and I'll fly Captain Ray's, and we'll bump them.
There you go.
Yeah.
So sorry, if anybody's a big Fimi out there, we don't mean to be bash the Fimi, but I mean if these firmware updates would actually, some of the, like Ryan thinks the firmware update, like his gimbal was good and the firmware update ruined him. So why issue a bunch of firmware updates where you're making some people's drones worse than they already were?
Listen, at the end of the day, I sincerely hope that they fix it because really, I'm going to get serious for just a second. It is the drone itself flies great, and it's a sporty little drone. It flies. It's fun to fly. I like the controller. The camera is pretty good. Now, there's a lot of people that have nitpicked some things about the camera. It's a mini drone, so I don't expect it to be what a Mavic 2 Pro is. But the gimbal is just critical, and it just doesn't work, and it ruins the whole point of the drone. Let's hope that they continue to come out with firmware improvements. I would think it could be fixed by firmware. I don't know for certain if it's a mechanical thing, but that's what they're going to have to do, because if they don't, Fimi just loses all credibility, and who's ever going to buy another one?
No.
Yeah, and you would like hope
a lot of issues.
Good.
A lot of issues.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we beat that one down pretty good here. So let's move on before we get in trouble with Fimi. This is a story Mike posted to DroneNation in the last 24 hours. The FAA announces a ARC for beyond visual line of sight at a symposium or whatever. That's a big word. I have trouble with those. And apparently what they're doing is they're looking, they're studying ways to allow us, and as far as I get, not just enterprise people, but Part 107 pilots to be able to get waivers to fly beyond visual line of sight. Mike, you have a little more input on this?
No, it just said they're going to have basically a 6-month study into that, and I didn't see the word waivers in there. I don't know if they're going to have waivers or not.
I may have added that in, Mike. Sorry.
I'm not sure.
That may be Ron saying that, not the story.
it's a 6-month study basically. So they're doing something about it. They're going in the right direction to at least study it.
But I mean, I'm sure they're not just in 6 months. They're not going to say where everybody can just start flying line of sight, all over the place. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of restrictions built in there. I've heard all along, Mike, that this is just all a rumor, but I've been hearing for a while that when the more we get closer to remote ID being situated, the more they're going to allow some beyond visual line of sight when the remote ID is fully implemented.
Jason Shepard has said that many times. He thinks it's heading that direction.
Yeah, Jason has brought that up numerous times, and
now, Marcus, this is something you'd be very interested in. If this would happen, right?
Oh, absolutely. I just think you can be safe in situations. For instance, flying out over the Snake River Canyon. I mean, common sense rules the day. Obviously, in my mind, when you're trying to avoid manned aircraft, your ears are probably more important than your eyes because you can hear what direction that aircraft is. And when you hear it, you make sure you get eyes on it. Yep. A lot of things I think that have a bearing there. So, yeah, I mean, what I would be okay with is if it's like getting Lance approval in controlled airspace. If you just simply had on your an app that you could say, listen, I plan on flying out half a mile or a mile or whatever. And then the FAA, they see that airspace and they can approve it instantly. I think that would be great.
I agree. With all the sophisticated equipment on the drones now and remote ID coming, that they should have some ability for us to fly, beyond line of sight in safe situations. So, Mike, thanks for posting that and keeping us up on that story because I think it's of interest to many people.
Sure.
Johnny and I were talking today, and we were talking about that specific thing. I think a lot of drone pilots fly well beyond line of sight right now. As much as I hate to say that, there's no doubt. I think they're doing it.
Really.
I mean, I think in the old days before these rules got implemented. So I'm in my house. I got a helicopter flying over top of it. I don't think people do as much as they did a few years back before there was a lot of talk and discussion about it. I think people have reined it in somewhat. I mean, again, I know people doing.
Yeah, Ron, they mark it in the specs though. I mean, it's on a box. You can go 10, 6 miles, 3 miles. So and but a lot of people don't read the rules, especially maybe some of the people that get them in. I think that's the first thing they want to do is how high can you go and how far can you fly? And they don't know. I mean, they're not that. I mean, they don't know they're doing something wrong.
Agreed. Anyway,
I think it's important that you at least know some basic regulations.
Absolutely, yeah. I agree, Marcus.
Well, to your point, that's one of the things that worries me about this drone at Walmart. Yeah, because Grandma will be buying it for her grandson or whatever,
right?
And they will have no idea. You ought to at least have some kind of maybe a handout that goes with it. I don't know, but yeah.
I think it ought to be something on the app where you answer a few questions and look whether you answer them, and even though you like hitting agree to all those stuff, download an app or something, but at least you can. At least they kind of got proof that you're supposed to read it. But I'm like you. That how many kids? How many boxes of those SEs will be underneath the Christmas tree?
Well, I looked at a local Walmart the other day, and they had 3 different DJI drones cards, and the card beside it says, "Flying these drones may require registration."
Oh, really?
May. And they're all DJI drones. Every one of them.
Yeah.
Gee whiz. This is just kind of a little side thing, but you guys familiar with Newegg.com? They had a refurb version of the Mavic Mini. Yesterday they had it on sale for $279.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But Marcus, we talked about it, talking about this Fimi, the Mini, I got to sit right here, but you just bought and you had it before, the Paradenofi. I mean, if you want to spend $300, get that thing on a refurb, and you got yourself a drone.
Absolutely. You have a drone that is full featured. It does everything, and it does it all very, very well.
Right.
The only negative thing I can say about that is the range can be.
Yeah.
It's a Wi-Fi drone, so as long as you're not flying out more than 400 or 500 meters, it's golden. Yeah. Wonderful drone, and like you tipped me off to it, Johnny, that they had it on that woot.com, a refurb for $299. I mean, wow.
They hadn't had it again, but they will. It comes up about every month of 5 or 6 weeks, I guess.
Yeah. Well, okay, let's move on to story 6. We talk a lot about Freewell in here, but Polar Pro has released variable ND filters, are now available for the DJI Air 2S. And our buddy Lon Denards, who's in the chat here today, Lon did a great review on the variable ND filters on his YouTube channel. So if you subscribe to Lon, you haven't seen the video, get over there yet. And the difference between the variables and the ones like Marcus has is when Marcus puts the ND16 on, but he really should have put the ND32 on, he has to bring his drone down, land it, twist that thing off in the field, put the other filter on, take it back up and fly it again. Where somebody like Lon with the variable ND filters, he just has to bring his drone down and turn it, stop. Like he can just turn it from like, they don't put 1632 in there, but he just turns it from 1, which is probably like 8 or something, to 2, which is 16, to 3, which is 32, by just turning it. So he doesn't have to actually put, he only needs 2 filters, like the one for maybe 8, 16, and 32, and one for like 64 and 256 and whatever. And, so it makes it kind of easier. Now, I don't know the price of these Polar Pros, but I'm sure these variables, but I'm sure they're considerably more than the Freewells. But it's something to consider if you're looking for filters for your, your Air 2S, and you don't particularly like the Osprey Freewell.
I don't know if I can be on this show, Ron. We're talking about a competitor. I'm sponsored by Freewell, so I might have to.
You have to go. You're violating your contract with Freewell.
They're not free, but they'll treat you well.
All right.
But anybody's, I don't have any experience with variable NDs on a drone, but I have had variable ND filters for real cameras, and they are nice. They're more expensive, but they are nice.
Hey,
so.
These you'll know the setting, and it just takes a second. You just turn it to get it off, and then put the new one on. I mean, what's the difference between that and turning a ring?
Yeah, you got to bring it down.
We'll have a video at SpinUp. We'll have you and Lon do a filter changing contest or whatever. And,
okay.
See who gets it adjusted up in the air suit. Well, I can tell you one thing: removing those ND filters on the Air 2S is a whole heck of a lot easier than the Mavic 2 Pro. Man, them things on the Pro, you have to practice to get them on and off. Mike can attest to, right?
Exactly, sure do. Yep.
Oh. And one more quick story. Brad Austin posted in DroneNation within the last week that our friends over at Harbor Freight, that's a brick and mortar store, but you can also order from their online site. They have the waterproof 3800 hard case on sale for $29.99, and that's a case. I've made a video about it recently where I customized it for my Altel, but a lot of people are using it for their Air 2Ss or whatever. So if you don't want to pay like $100 or better to one of the big name customized drone cases, consider the Harbor Freight one for $29.99 and do it yourself. And if you don't know how to do it yourself, watch my video.
Ron's got a great video on that
case. Great case for the money. It really does.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for posting that, Brad. That's very helpful to a lot of people, in the community that don't have the money for an expensive hard case from one of the GPC or one of the top names. So anyhow, now let's get back to Captain Ray's question here. Okay, what drone? Some people like Mike. Mike came to Florida with his whole armada of drones or whatever. and he's probably going to bring them all to spin up too, since he's driving the truck. But
I'll probably do the same.
Yeah. So he's not a good one to ask. But people that are flying like me and Ray, we have to probably limit to the amount of drones we're bringing, and Marcus too. He's flying, so we're kind of all probably trying to decide which drones to bring. Do we just bring the small ones or whatever? But Johnny's around by a truck, so he could bring a lot too. But we'll go around the room. Marcus, what you have any ideas what drones you're going to bring to?
Skydio 2, Mavic 3 Pro, Mavic Air 2S.
Wait. Mavic 3 Pro?
Yeah. Mavic 3 Pro, Mavic Air 2S, Mavic Mini 3, the Hudson Xeno 2 Plus, the Fimi X8 SE 2020. I might even bring that SJRC F11. I probably should bring an MJX drone, right, Ron? An MJX.
Are you flying your own?
What about the Fimi Mini?
I'm not sure about. Well, unless we're having the drone demolition derby, and I'll bring this one.
Marcus, you didn't mention the Holy Stone.
Oh yeah, the Holy Stone. There you go.
No Potensic.
I already gave that Holy Stone away, Michael.
Okay.
Hey, but Mike, I got a question for you. Are you gonna bring your shotgun? Because if you do, I can bring this guy. Anyway, I'm just joking. For sure. Well, depending on we don't know what new will be out in November. But if we were just trying to choose today, I'll probably just bring one drone, and that, of course, would be the Air 2S.
Yep. Johnny, you're next.
Yeah, the Air 2S for sure, and probably my Mini too. And of course, I will bring that. My two friends in the left-hand corner of this stream maybe buy the Air 2 like a week before the Air 2S came out. So I'll bring it too.
Now, what about the Fimi?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring. We're gonna have the drone wars. We're going to film
it.
Michael, what are you going to pack in the truck?
I'll pack the Phantom 4,
Pro,
the Mavic 3, Air 2S, and the Mini 2.
Oh wow, that's 4. Ray, what are you going to fit your carry-on bag on the plane?
Yeah. My plan is to bring the Air 2S and my Mini, my original Mini. Yep, my plan. That'll be enough.
Ron,
maybe I'll bring that Hudson Xeno Mini Pro along, and I'll fly and I'll shoot the rest of you guys.
Ron, can you show us a Hudson Mini 2 Xeno? I mean,
well, the problem is, Johnny, I hope it actually ships by November 6th.
yeah, that's
still
maybe processing on that day.
Yeah,
no, we're gonna have it in the next 2 weeks.
Your Skydio? No.
Pardon?
Your Skydio? No.
Well, the Skydio. Let me tell you why the Skydio would probably not be appropriate for the. And I'm just going to get serious for a second. I know I'm a smart ass most of the time, but the Skydio. Actually, just flying it with the controller, there's a fair amount of lag in the controls, and quite frankly, it's just not as fun to fly. Now, if you were flying it among trees and things like that, hey, that would be awesome.
Or through gazebos.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly right. But it's mostly really, if you look at it, tracking and that kind of stuff. So if I was only going to bring, and I'm obviously trying to pack light, then the Air 2S makes sense.
Hey, okay, now I haven't been keep up the chat. Hey, Brad Austin, what drone are you bringing, Brad? And who else is out there? Lon, what drone are you bringing, Lon? Is Matt Conduff coming? Is Matt Conduff confirm?
Matt'll be there.
Yeah.
Matt, what drone are you bringing?
And World of Oz, Sean is in,
Oh, hello, Sean.
Yeah, well, I mean, what's Sean going to bring? He could potentially bring his Skydio.
I would like. I hope somebody does. I want to see it. Just to see it.
Well, and Ron, you brought it to Florida. I was impressed with it. I really was. You know, when you told me it, I was impressed with that drone.
It did fly impressive, but it has auto starts the video, and for some reason it didn't take any video that day. For some reason the auto start the video failed. I don't have anything from that flying around that palm tree through the gazebo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what I just off topic here? You know what I just saw today, Ray? I saw a picture of these people with boats on the beach on Peanut Island. Next time I come down, you gotta take me over to Peanut Island.
Oh, definitely. You'll love it. You will. I will definitely go. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Mike's been there.
Yeah. Ray took me out there. I spent an extra day out there.
Yeah, I got to go next time. Hey, we got some things in the chat here. Third Eye View, who's going, he confirmed he bought his ticket already. He's bringing the Evo 2 Pro, the Mavic Mini 2, and the Mavic Air 2S. Matt's bringing the Air 2S, Mini 2, most likely have the FPV drone by then.
Good, Matt.
Ron, I don't want to miss. Brad Alston also spoke up here, and he's bringing his Air 2S, his Mini 2, and he states that he's trying to sell his Air 2. So if anybody out there is looking for a nice clean Air 2,
standard Air 2,
get a hold of him.
They're probably going to charge us for extra electricity at the hotel for charging all these.
Well, don't tell him we're bringing any drones. Oh, Addie's going to bring his Scudio too.
Yeah,
that's great. Yeah, cool.
And Lon's gonna bring his Mavic 3 and his FPV drone.
45 minutes away. Oh, okay.
DeMarco's bringing his Mavic Air 2.
Okay. Fly Zone's bringing his Air 2S, Fimi X8 SE 2020 Mini 2, and a Sector 5 version 3 FPV drone.
Very cool.
There's going to be a lot of drones there.
Well, yeah.
Wow.
It's going to be fun. I'll tell you what, that's exciting.
And but what let's see. So let's see. This is month 6. That's month 11. So we're a little less than 5 months away. So
it'll go by quick too. The time will go by quick. It'll be here before you know it.
Don't wish summer, Ray, on me, Ray. Don't wish summer to go by too fast. Hey, Brad also says he'll have the FPV drone by then. Who knows? And Matt Cundiff saying he's gonna be at the Spring Hill Suites.
Good.
Well, yep, that'll be good. Chris Hope, I mentioned earlier in the chat that he said if anybody has time that they should tour the Texas State Capitol. He said it takes about 3 hours, but he said it's well worth your time.
Huh.
Okay.
Oh, there you go, Marcus. That's
maybe we can get a little bus trip going down there.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to fly inside there like Ken Herron flew inside the state house someplace?
I don't think so.
You might, if you want to not be a resident of Texas. Yeah, I probably wouldn't fly there.
Or if you want to be a permanent resident.
Yeah, permanent resident.
Yeah. But am I wrong? Did Ken Herron fly inside the state house someplace?
Yeah,
Tennessee.
where was it? Yeah, Tennessee. Yeah, he did.
And he's still out. He's still free. He's not doing any time, any place.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron, you go from retired to working for the state of Texas.
Well, I'm probably good at license plates.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, are any of y'all going to Ken Herron's birthday bash, Minefield?
No, and what date is that, Mike?
August 21st.
August 21st, and that's in what state?
Brownville, Tennessee, about 55 miles northeast of Memphis.
But it's mostly going to be an FPV event, right?
Well, last year they had a lot of camera guys there as well. So
okay.
I'm planning on going this year. I think I'm going to.
Oh, good. Well, you'll be our reporter then.
Okay, I'll do that.
Now, will you drive or fly there?
I'll drive. Yeah, I'll drive.
Good.
525 miles, something like that. So.
It looked like a great event from last year when I saw the video.
Yeah,
it really looked like a fun thing, and those are cool things to fly through or around or whatever.
Right.
Is that one day event, Mike? It's a 1
day event. Yeah.
I mean, it's no.
I'm sure there's some guys who fly the next day too.
Oh,
but
yeah.
You plan on going, Johnny, or do you know?
No, probably not. We actually when our family, we'll be coming back.
Oh, family reunion, you mentioned, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Brad also asked a question. Hey, is the Spring Hill Suites the one at
Yes.
1110 Discovery Boulevard?
Discovery Boulevard, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that's it. Yep.
Okay. Get that confirmed. Well, that private hotel's probably saying, why are we getting all these reservations for November?
Yeah, because I don't think Kelly. I mean, Mike. I'm sure he will, but he hadn't set anything up yet. I guess maybe, or he maybe didn't anticipate tickets selling. I don't know if anybody can pull it up. I wonder how many tickets are left in his first batch.
I don't know. I do know Kelly did set a block of rooms in 2 different hotels in 19.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he'll do something on this too if there's any rooms left.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's why I think it's relatively important if you want to be close to where the event is, that you probably should make those reservations as soon as possible, because we know this is going to be really popular, and I could see where they could fill the hotel fairly quickly.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, no doubt about it.
Is John Coopy going? Is he going or not?
Well, they were trying to get him to go on Coast to Coast last week, but
This picture is for John Coopy.
John has said in the Facebook round that you posted, I think you did it, that he is not going.
Oh, okay.
He was very non-committal last week. He's in the chat right now.
I like John.
That's why I'm holding the drone up. He says that
has his ship back yet already?
Marcus, he said you're holding up a heathen drone.
He called it the heathen drone, so that's why I was holding it up there.
They were trying to talk Geeks Fun into coming too, but he was non-committal also.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I looked around. There's a lot of places.
Hey, Ron, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just thought of something, and I believe he's in the chat. Bill Thomas, Coast to Coast Drones, is going to be there.
Bill's got his ticket. Yeah, Bill's got his ticket.
He's looking forward to it. Yeah.
Hey, Bill, what drone are you bringing? Buddy, I was going to say there looks like a lot of places to eat right around the hotel, the Spring Hill Suites. I saw like it was an In-N-Out burger around there. There was a Chuy's around there.
Very good.
Well, the best one that I saw was that's right next to a Costco, so you can get a hot dog. $1.50.
A big slice of pizza.
Right.
Rotary chicken.
Rotisserie chicken, yeah.
Plenty of Starbucks around there. Hey, but guess what I didn't see though, Johnny? I couldn't find a Waffle House.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet there's Whataburger around there though too.
There was a Whataburger. I saw.
There's got to be Whataburger. It's in Texas.
Yeah, we don't.
I'm an In-N-Out guy though.
We don't have a Whataburger around here, so
No, they're a Texas chain.
Okay.
Actually, they moved out. I think. Yeah.
No, it's going to be a great event, no doubt about it. It really is. Yep.
Yeah. So anybody out there that's on the fence on whether you're going to come or not, I mean, I highly recommend the experience from 2019. All I could say is Kelly was a great host of the event, and everybody got there to support Kelly. I mean, the better he does at these things, the better he could do it the next year.
Yeah, and I put a poll up on DroneNation. I think we have 14 or 15 people that said they all going and have their tickets already. So I mean, that's a lot very early from.
Yeah,
it is. I think Kelly had about 65 people the first year, 2018.
Yeah,
had around 85 or 90 in 19. And he said he was hoping to have 200. He'd like to have 200 this year.
Wow.
I wouldn't doubt that there will be easy enough. There's a lot of interest. I suspect we'll get there.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Third Eye View saying only 2 Waffle Houses in Austin, Texas, one near the airport and the other downtown. Oh well, I won't get my waffles this trip, Johnny.
We'll bring some frozen waffles, throw them in the microwave.
Yeah, we'll bring you some.
On the way home,
you can make them at the hotel. They have free breakfast.
Yeah.
Or I can just.
They're probably Texas shaped waffles.
I can swing by Johnny's on the way home. Johnny says he's got one down the street.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, right at the end of my block. I could walk to it.
I've been to North Carolina before, where you'll be at a freeway interchange, and there'll be a Waffle House on each corner of the freeway interchange.
I
got one that I could. Even
I think I ate one in North Carolina. Yeah.
make it. Yeah. Waffle House is good.
Addy just bought his ticket. Addy, he just
Yeah,
bought his ticket. Wow.
He
He
got
said
third
there's
live stream.
8 left.
8
And
left. Wow.
And Sergio's
Eight
going
left.
to get his
Wow.
Sergio's going to get his ticket tonight. You better hurry, Sergio, with only 8 left.
Was it like 30 in that first group or 40, I think?
50, I think. Did you say?
Was it okay? Was it okay?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
So get on the ground floor, folks. All us people will be sitting in the front row at the event. At the DroneNation table. We did have our own DroneNation table last time, Marcus, right?
We did. We absolutely did. We did have a DroneNation table. It was good.
And the front row.
Right in the front row. Yeah.
Actually, it was DroneNation, Marcus, Ron.
Yeah,
Sorry.
It was.
we
It was.
stand
There was no
corrected,
DroneNation existed.
You stand corrected.
Yeah.
Brad's confirming his 50 tickets.
So that explains it, Michael. I noticed everybody was walking by our table and laughing out loud. That's why. Okay, DroneNation.
Why do you think Kelly gave you the Xeno?
Yeah, geez.
Yeah, and well, DeMarco's sitting there. DeMarco's good looks probably.
Oh, that's true.
That. Yeah.
DeMarco, DeMarco will give you a discount code at Walmart, if you get that SE edition.
There you go.
Hey, Ron, I love Cracker Barrel.
Oh, yeah, but maybe I didn't see Cracker Barrels either.
We got them all over in Texas.
They're good too. Yeah.
I'm sure there's probably not one very far away. Yeah, I mean they're in Idaho, so if they're in Idaho, they got to be.
We have one in New Jersey too, so they're
Yeah.
here. Anyhow, I want to promo a new show tonight. Ala Duran started a new drone show up Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe Brad Austin's in the chat here. He's part of that show, and is it somebody else on there too?
I watched the show today, and I'm trying to remember.
It was Justin Drones 863.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember everybody that was in there. Fred Johnson from 80.
Fred Johnson, yes. I don't know who's a regular on the show, but anyhow, I just want to promote Al Duran's new show, and if it's Brad's show too, I don't want to call it Al's show. Anyhow, the new drone show, 7 p.m. Monday night. So go over and check it out, and don't forget the Fly for Fun show on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys have a pretty good show this week lined up, don't you?
Yeah, we do. We do.
Yes.
We got Mark Fisher on.
Oh, the famous Mark Fisher from the Rescue Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Anthony how you say his last name, Ray?
Castaldi.
Yeah, the first.
I met him he was at the Florida Drone Meetup. I met him, I believe.
Yeah, nice young man, photographer.
Yes. Real good. Two good guests. Two great guests, actually.
And Mark's a photographer also.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, he does some serious drone photography. He's filming commercials and big time, drone photography jobs he gets.
Yeah, Mark's good.
Marcus, you got something you want to bring up on the Fimi?
No, I just was tossing it around.
Are you changing the show to Fimi Nation now?
Yeah, no, that ain't gonna happen.
Well, it could be.
Casey Stack is in the chat. Are any of you familiar with Black Bear Diner?
Yeah, I had one in California.
They're all over the West. I didn't know how far they go, but he's mentioning that. And Casey Stack needs a blue wrench too, Ron. Yeah, I mean that's kind of a breakfast place, kind of similar. One of those with a great big menu, and the menu is printed like in newsprint. It's kind of they kind of got ambiance, I guess you'd say.
Applewood bacon.
Applewood bacon.
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess we're winding up to the end of another show here. If anybody in the panel has anything they want to add that we haven't covered tonight, or they want to plug anything, Mike, do you have anything to add or plug or anything?
I just say don't miss SpinUp.
Yeah, it's the best. That's the best plug of the night.
I'm like a little kid. I'm like a little kid. I'm so excited about going to this. You know,
Yep.
I mean, I just love meetups, getting together with other people, whether it's 1, 2, 3, and there's going to be at least 50 to 100, maybe even more than 100.
Oh, yeah.
At SpinUp.
I gotta say, I'm going to Italy in March. Well, supposedly Susan and I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward more to the drone meetup than the Italy. But
There you go.
She doesn't watch the show, hopefully. Hey, Ray, what you should have done is you should have convinced Kelly to have SpinUp in Greece. So
There you
you
on the
you
boat,
know,
there you go. Yeah.
how about have SpinUp on a cruise ship?
Well, hold it. We got our friend DJ Alex. Is Alex Mark is in Greece, so
He could find us an event.
yeah. He's a DJ. I guarantee he'd find us a place to have it.
He knows all the best spots like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I'm going to pile on and say, listen, just like Captain Ray said, I am very, very excited about this. And of course, it's drones and all of that. And we had such a pleasant experience at the last live SpinUp in 2019. But also, I think part of the dynamic here for all of us is coming off a year of COVID, and we were all just kind of trapped in and stuff. And so it's an opportunity for us all to get out there and kind of spread our wings and feel good about getting out again. At least personally for me, it is. So, yeah, really, really excited about it. Moreover, the other thing I want to say is, this is drone flying season, right? We're in where most of us have the best weather, etc. Even if it's a troublesome drone like this little guy, just get out and fly and have a good time. There are so many awesome drones out there. And and what I think is cool now is you don't have to spend a lot of money. That $299 Mini SE, right up front there. Get out there, fly your drone, take some video, have fun, and enjoy the community.
Good sentiments, Marcus.
Yeah.
So,
I agree, Marcus.
As Johnny would say, fly for fun.
fly for fun. Okay, well, we're going to wrap up here. I'm going to thank everybody for coming in tonight. I appreciate all the interest we had in SpinUp out there, and Modern Kelly will be back in a couple of weeks on here the answer maybe more detailed questions that we cannot cover. Maybe he'll even know some of the speakers, or maybe he'll know about the hotel discounts and so on like that. So we'll grow him when he gets on here, right, fellas? We'll get to the bottom of things. So, like Marcus said, it's summer flying season, so get out there, fly while the weather's good, but fly safe, people. We'll see you next week.
Thanks.
Have a good night. Fly safe.
Good night.